most recently in Eridon, the Forsaken Winds have defeated Durast at For's Hollow, hopefully defending that location from threat for the final time. And now, with a foothold in Croatia, the United Kin army begins to reinforce that location, sort of as their home base in Croatia, preparing for its next move in the war effort. Some of you spent time recently interrogating some of the prisoners, and you gained insight into some of the hierarchy and specifics of the Durastian occupation in Olandris, your next focus. Soon, very soon, in 2 days' time, you all have an estate dinner to attend, which Thane Gaspard was invited to, and therefore you're interested in infiltrating. And therefore, you have just flown via your Caneloft wind sails toward that location for intent on scouting and surveying the city around there. And as the 5 of you, or 8 of you, if you include Daisy, Loaf, and Shaggy, and I also added Telperian's little guy to your shoulder on the loading screen.
Loaf. His name's not Loaf.
The 8 of you have just descended from the sky, and you touch down about a mile or so out from Olandris, or along one of the branching paths off the main road. You were able to glimpse the city's layout in your approach, so I will pull that up now. And it is currently Sundas, the 29th of Evening Star. You have, excuse me.
Bless you.
It didn't come. That's so sad. It faded, so unsatisfying. But you have essentially 2 full days before you need to be in a specific location, functionally at the estate keep of Olandris. So you have time to survey the surroundings of the city, consider how you might want to approach before you'll need to infiltrate the estate dinner with your invitation from the Contessa and Count of Olandris. As you guys touch down, I would like everyone to please make a perception check.
Right now I have a D20 with the 20 facing up on a piece of quartz to purify it for rolling low. Let's see if that's worked. I rolled a 5, so it's not working. But it's actually not a 5, it's an 8. No, a 9.
A 9 for Telperion. Luckily, 2 of you did meet the DC. So what you'll notice in your landing and looking out towards the city, you do see various flying shapes just sort of scouting above the city. And Toby Ram, you're able to easily identify those as wyverns off in the distance. Likely some of Durast's wyvern knights are here at the city and acting as patrols of some kind. And you and Roulette saw one of these sort of break from their position of their loop, and they are heading loosely in your direction.
Jesus fuck.
What are you guys interested in doing?
What day is it? I just didn't get them for my notes.
Sundas, 29th of Evening Star.
Yep.
And this is session what?
Toby, I have it as session 74.
74.
Great.
A5.
I didn't perceive this, so I'm not going to respond to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't either. It was Rome.
Onus on Rome and everything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Roulette, but I meant Rome. Yeah, Rome and Toby Rama notice one of these flying figures that Toby identifies as a Durastian wyvern loosely heading towards your direction, but they're about a mile out.
Wait, a wyvern is like a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A small draconic-like creature, though without 4 limbs and wings, their wings are attached to their front arms.
Like bats, kind
Is
of.
it WY?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Looks like we have a Wyvern Knight on patrol heading our way. I don't know if they saw us touch down or not.
Wait, did we touch down or were we in the air?
You guys have touchdown. You have landed.
Okay. Can anyone hide us quickly?
Yes. I can cast Let a Trace to hide us.
Okay, you are in fairly open ground. There is a well-worn path near you. However, there is a sort of crag off to the side that goes up about 20 feet. Wouldn't offer a ton of cover, but you could hustle over toward that and attempt to hide as a group if you would like to.
Must be a trick.
I could turn us all into scarecrows. That's about it.
I just cast Let a Trace so that we're hidden within a veil of shadows.
Yes, that will aid all of your stealth checks, but you will still need to find a way to break line of sight or otherwise become not visible within their view to even attempt a stealth check of some kind.
Oh, I see.
Why don't we move towards that shelter while Jerry makes us crows? Because if we get found our first moment here, we're fucked.
Jerry, just turn us into small little trees, not scarecrows. You say crows or scarecrows?
No, it has to be humanoid. We can't be trees.
Never mind. Let's just start sprinting away from the road. I guess.
Okay.
Is that
If you guys are running over toward the sort of crag where there's a rise in elevation before it plateaus off again and sort of hoping to press up against that, everyone please give me a stealth check.
Is it offering like shade? Like, is the sun at an
Yes.
angle? Do
Yes.
I think using my candle would be too obvious if I tried to really deepen the shadows?
I do think so because it is, you guys made such good time on your way here that it's about noon.
Okay.
So although there's a little shade offered, a sphere of darkness would be fairly obvious.
I'm gonna take out my tools and I will start touching the corners of my own armor and Toby's armor, and I'm gonna cast invisibility at level 3 to make Toby
Okay.
and myself invisible.
Okay.
I have a +1 to stealth.
I'll cast enhance ability on Telperion for Dex to give him advantage.
Right
on this.
before
Right
I do
before
that,
invisibility
yes.
is on. Okay.
So hang on, I gotta do something.
Okay. Toby Rama, make sure to knock off those spell slots, but Toby Rama enhances Telperion, so you'll gain advantage.
Good thing you did, because I rolled a 1 on my first roll. I just rolled 2 nat 1s.
Okay.
Let's see how we do.
Well, I probably should burn a fucking inspiration. God damn, I don't want to.
Critter, does the invisibility give us advantage on the stealth check, or
You should,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
So stealthy.
Yeah, and all of you have a additional
Ignore
plus
those.
10 on the top of these because of Rome's Pass Without a Trace.
ignore those rolls from me?
Okay.
That was sleight of hand.
Essentially, we're like more than invisible.
Yeah, basically.
Y'all, I really don't want to use my inspiration, but do you want me to?
I think all of us did pretty good. I don't know if
Oh,
we
it is a
cancel
group
out what
check.
you do. I
Did
don't
anyone
know.
crit though?
I think you gotta make that call.
I really don't want to use it.
26, 21, 24, 29.
Fail the stealth check.
Oh.
So.
You know,
I rolled 2 nat 1s after rolling a 5. All my juju, this crystal is useless.
No, I meant like, what does Telperion do?
Telperion, he's like, you all should be hiding better. Please hurry. And he's not hiding. I'm gonna let that one be a nat 1.
You hear the landing of a large creature up above you from where this crag is. And I will move us to this screen. And show, for our knowledge, what the knight on top of the Wyvern looks like. who's holding a long silver lance in one arm and otherwise holding on to the back of his dragon's harness, his wyvern's harness.
Oh, guys, I say we fight him.
What do you smell, girl? Could have sworn I saw something.
I say we fight him, guys. Jerry whispers.
Leaps from its perch, flies down, and starts to stomp and stalk around a little bit.
I
Are
use.
you guys doing anything?
Yeah. I'll use. So minor illusion doesn't have a verbal component. So I'm going to create the sound of a bleeding lamb 30 feet behind this thing.
What's the range on it? Can you point to on the map where you're intending to create the sound?
I guess I can't do 30 feet behind it. I can only, the range is 30 feet. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, anything I do would just direct it towards us. But I already said I'm doing it. Oh, I'll just draw its attention to that spot.
Toward this spot?
Yeah.
What noise do you make?
A bleeding lamb.
Lavern's head snaps in that direction, and it does move over there. What the hell? I don't see any creatures.
Nope.
Continues to stalk around the environment for a bit.
Jerry whispers for a third time. I say we fight it.
Jira, you hear in your head, oh, we're not doing that. This is a stealth mission, remember? We fail if we fight.
What's more stealthy than killing this guy?
Not revealing that we've killed one of its members by... We should make a distraction farther away.
Jerry, we'd have to kill him in one swift blow, and I don't know if we can do that. Otherwise, he's going to fly away and alert the others.
Its wings go out and beat, and you hear the knight say, "Must have been the wind," and flies off.
Thank God I didn't burn an inspiration. That was lucky.
Never should have come here.
Never should have come here.
What video game is that from?
Skyrim.
So should we stay here?
Let's
A little further off the road, I'd venture, and maybe even a little further away from Olandris. But I mean, it's good to know they have some aerial scouts keeping an eye out.
Did it ask that thing, what do you smell?
Yes, so careful of your personal odor, I guess.
I prestidigitate Jiri to smell like pine needles.
Jerry takes out his perfume and puffs some extra.
Isn't that your signature smell? Isn't it against the purpose of this for you to smell like yourself?
I don't remember what the smell was. It makes me smell more like a person from here, and not like somebody from Jawland.
What do they smell like in Jawland?
Clouds.
I've never smelled a cloud before.
Isn't a cloud just water?
Maybe here in the material plane, but not in Jawland.
Well, how do we proceed?
say we get a little further off the road and then find a place to camp.
If I understand, and maybe we start doing that, but I want to. If I understand spellcraft correctly, and I pull out like a 1-inch like little scroll that explains, like it's my cliff notes on spells. 3 of you get to choose new spells upon your rest, right?
Mhm.
What do your spell lists enable for stealth? How are we going to? Toby, you can just magically spy, correct?
So I can spy in 2 different ways. One, I can use a lower form of magic to spy on within a mile, someplace I've been, or someplace obvious. Like if I see a house, I can be like, I want to see inside the door of that house. Or I can get really specific with it, but that is higher magic. I can also locate creatures, locate objects. I have fast friends prepared.
Don't we also have to figure out? Are we sending someone to lie? What was the timeline? Is that tomorrow afternoon when Jerry's gonna walk in as the guy?
We have today, tomorrow, and then the 31st is the day of the dinner.
The plan was we're showing up on the 31st. Jiri as our guest of honor, the Thane. I think Toby and myself in these sets of Durastian armor that we absconded with from the fight. Rome, camouflage, just some sort of beautiful small creature. Telperion, I know we were planning on putting a helmet on you. I grabbed one of those that I'm planning on hammering out to make room for your antlers.
Who were we planning to put someone in the necklace?
Or put someone in the necklace, Telperion, if you want to go in the necklace.
I don't really relish the thought, but I could in a pinch.
I think upon mentioning the necklace, you might remember that
That's
there is
a
a
horse.
horse
Yeah.
currently in the necklace.
Oh my god, I forgot. Why did we do that?
Oh, there's a horse in the
Oh,
necklace. Oh,
This
because
is for Jerry's
the Thane is
disguise.
going to be riding the horse into there because the Thane doesn't
But-
walk.
We can
So-
take and Jerry doesn't walk either. But we can take the horse out of the necklace and then put Telvian in.
So we have less than a minute on the Zoom call.
Reset.
Might as well do it now.
Reset!
Oh,
A new way of life. To reorganize us.
I just moved the Zoom panels around.
I forgot it's 40 minutes, not even an hour.
Yeah,
That's
it's
such a
bad.
weird time increment.
All right. As we were saying,
But so does that mean on the 31st we want to have like a really ragged Thane Gaspard riding up on a horse with 2 soldiers?
I figured that the less time that we are there, the less time they have to figure out who we are. So
So
We
don't
show
wanna do
up
that
on-
today. Certainly not. That's a lot
we
of
show
time
up
for
on-
us to mess up.
the night of the gala, the 2 humans walking with Thane Gaspard and little familiar Rome, and Telperion can be somewhere else. I don't know if he wants to be in the necklace or hidden under armor or something, but
We're in the city by that point. I'm not sure.
I'm fine going in the necklace to get into an event. I don't want to spend an event in the necklace because that would be boring and not a good use of my one skill, which is being awesome.
so we'll have you in armor ready to go, but you'll be in the necklace with either myself or Toby, because we'll be able to break apart from the Thane at some point.
If Jerry holds the necklace while I'm in it, I will.
We are not doing that.
That's not going to work.
Okay.
Can we shrink Telperion somehow? Make him like really tiny, put him in our pocket?
I can cast Reduce on him, but only once, and he only becomes halfling height.
Like 2.5 feet.
That's kind of cute.
I think
That's
so.
pretty small. That we could fit him somewhere probably. In my puffy armor.
Isn't it steamy in there? Are we going to do any reconnaissance
That's
today?
Donna.
I can do a fair bit today. I'm
We'll see what
wait,
Toby can
we-
do.
also need to talk to Thane again, his dead body.
You do that today, Toby?
I can do that today.
Mm.
I didn't preserve the body, so I don't know if it's still in speaking shape.
No, we did.
No, it's in the bag. It's wrapped up in a
A
rug.
carpet.
I
And
thought
then
you
also-
did preserve
I
the body.
preserved the demon lady,
And the
so I
Thane.
can talk to her 10 days later.
You preserved the Thane way back when we killed him the first time
Which was
in Forest Hollow.
10
But
days
like,
ago? I don't remember.
oh
how
no,
long
that
ago
was
it
like 2 weeks
Much
ago.
longer than
3,
10
4
days,
weeks
yeah.
ago.
Oh,
or
it only
something.
lasts 10 days.
So my thing only lasts 10 days.
Oh
So
well,
you
it's,
redid it when we
demon
asked him questions.
When was that?
He might still be able to talk, just all
It's
zombie.
worth a shot, and I can
These things
absolutely
don't
give it a shot
decompose.
today.
I actually was wondering if we shouldn't talk to the bodies after we've done some basic reconnaissance and have more information with which to ask them questions.
well, let's keep getting off this road and find a place to stay.
Yeah. What is the general outskirts of Olandris?
Yeah, so the way this southern branch, so the Eventide Road, which you usually travel, goes westward from Forest Hollow, but then ventures northwest and then west toward Olandris. You guys have effectively gone the opposite way. You've gone west out of Forest Hollow, then southwest, and then west toward Olandris. There are sort of sparse wooded areas somewhat to the south, but the edge of the forest would be several dozen miles south. So you're going to be somewhat hard pressed to find a very sheltered environment to be completely unseen with like a campfire and tents and such.
Is there like a house we can go stay in?
Do we want to try and sneak our way into the city? If Jiri can make us look like different people.
Oh,
I will
and then we can
also
sleep in a
mention
hotel.
I will also mention the fact that Jiri, you have spent some minor time in Olandris before, as you know this is Moby's hometown, actually, where you stopped in to gather his services as ward once upon a time.
Moby Prime.
Right.
So you might know some of the sort of city areas that might be poorer and therefore maybe less of interest to Durastian occupation.
Well, I know where you can get all the good stories. We should probably go there. Talk to the people. Maybe we can find out stuff from them.
Yeah, if we're not gonna have much luck finding shelter out here, we might as well try and get into the city.
Well, could I maybe perhaps try one thing?
Always.
Are there any I don't know, animals about? Like, do I get the sense that there might be, let's say, a fox
Ooh.
near here?
Go ahead and make a survival check.
What are you gonna do to it?
You're not able to see any fox tracks or bigger tracks than that. And it is also somewhat becoming the middle of winter. So you suspect anything in this area might have run southward toward the forest to perhaps hibernate, or maybe even toward the shelter of within city walls to find hidey holes and burrows to make.
So I see no, like, evidence of burrows anywhere near here.
No nests in trees, no very obvious tracks in the environment you're currently at.
Wanted to ask the fox if we could, like, stay in their burrow for a while, you know what I mean? If there was one about.
Rome, I can't fit in a burrow.
Burrows are quite big, Jerry.
No, I need a bed.
I do think we've been operating blind for too long, so if we could get into the city and ask some people their questions, we should just get that over with.
Ooh, plus maybe we can find Moby, the original Moby. He might know stuff. He's a smart kid.
Do we want to remain stealthed, or can I don't know if I should stay in my current form going about the city.
Oh no, I'll turn us into peasants or something.
Oh, okay. You
I
can turn
mean,
us
you
all
guys
into
into
peasants?
peasants. Like, I'm not gonna be a peasant though.
You can turn us all into peasants?
Yes.
No. Great.
I will be a noble, royalty.
Jerry, you're gonna get asked questions. I don't know that you should do that.
I will be the chief peasant then, the richest of all peasants.
You can be the peasant king. How's that?
Yes.
I
The
was
rat
seeing 3 roads that seem to lead towards gates in the wall.
Indeed,
what is the-
you are south of this map currently, probably southeast of this map. So the easternmost on the bottom right of the map is probably the gate closest to you. Although there is one from the north and from the northwest as well.
And would it
Isn't
be-
this area like a park or something like that?
Yes, there is Jiri, you know that is sort of the noble part of town. This main building down here in the center of the map is the estate keep of Olandris, where the reigning town mayor or thane or someone of import, likely the count and contessa, probably occupy that building, as well as some of the more nobility occupies this southwestern portion of the city, including these generally well-tended garden park spaces.
Ooh, maybe we go into the city as peasants, find a place to stay, and then we go and we hang out in the park, and I'll transform us into nobles, and we can spy on them.
All right, let's get into the
Let's
city.
start with getting into the city, because I don't think we want to approach from the east.
By foot, how far is it to travel there?
If we want
It's about a mile away, the city. So, however long it takes to walk a single mile, maybe 15 minutes, maybe a little longer with all your gear and stuff.
I stumble around and I'm whispering, Toby, because Toby's still invisible, with me, and I say, let's go at least scope out the gate and see if I don't know they're doing like checkpoint shit or something over there. So, let's just go see what we can see.
you want
I
to take off in a jog and
I will say this out loud, and Toby and I will take off in a hand-holding jog next to each other towards the eastern gate until we get within like 150, 200 feet where we can see.
Sure.
I like this.
As you
No one
guys-
move. We'll be right back.
As you guys begin to get closer, you get some information for free. You do see the walls set up only about 12 feet high or so, stone make around the city, shrouding the gates with large wooden door gates that clearly have a bar behind them that prevents entry. You do see a number of small caravans, carts, wagons, and even minor tents outside the front of this gate, as well as a line of people waiting to get in. Only about 6 people or so in line, but you do see a number of guards, as well as it looks like a single individual standing in front of the gate talking to those at the front of the line. You can make a perception check to try and see more details.
Absolutely.
Great, we kind of fast traveled from where the Wyvern was to where we are now, right? Like time has passed in between those spaces, right?
I mean, so far, like an hour, maybe.
Because when we in person as humans kind of jumped over that. Topirian wanted to switch his attunement to his Cloak of Elvenkind.
Oh, sure. You guys are welcome to get a short rest in, switch attunement stuff during this course of time.
All right,
sure.
I'm rolling with the Cloak of Elvenkind, Ring of Featherfall.
Okay.
Make that a 13 for me, please.
13 for Alette. And you get advantage per the shield.
Yes.
27's very good. Toby Rama, you can very clearly see that the person in the front of the line, dressed in Durastian clothes but not armor, has a sort of clipboard or hard-backed scroll thing, and does have a quill that he's writing things down and talking to those in the front of the line. And then further over the walls, you can see various small wooden towers built throughout the city, maybe a dozen or so of them, with a familiar looking apparatus on top of them that matches the one you saw in Forest Hollow's
Spotlights.
watchtower. a sort of reflective based spotlight device on several towers throughout the city, as well as generally, other than the half dozen or so wyvern creatures looking throughout the top of the city, one wyvern perched on about half of those watchtowers.
Okay. I'll whisper to Roulette. How much time do you have left before we
You got maybe like 5-10 minutes tops.
Okay. I want to try and see what he is writing on his clipboard, and I can do that pretty safely from a distance. But it will be casting a spell. I will reveal myself. So I don't know if we want to wait till it's about to run out, cast it again, or just try and find a place to hide, or...
I mean, I can try and distract him a bit to like just have him look away from you. I don't know.
I'm not going to get up close. I'm going to go far away and use magic to look at what he's asking people for on his clipboard.
Oh, okay. I'm game for that. Let's just start retreating then.
Yeah, we're like 200 feet. I can do this from a mile away, so I'd like to.
Oh, let's just start. We'll start booking it back to the group, and yeah.
You can effectively start getting closer back to the group and still be within range for this spell.
And I will cast Clairvoyance.
What does it look like when Toby does this over the course of 10 minutes?
It does take 10 minutes. I am getting out my cool little scales with the bone arm as the center pillar, and then the scales with the offset water. And similar to how I cast Scrying, I'll do the same thing. Fill up one with holy water, fill up one with plain water, and look in. And I would like to be a foot or two above the area where I saw the sentry watching.
Okay. You do so, and suddenly your vision is pulled toward where you focused your attention for the location of this spell. Are you intending to look or hear through it right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I will choose seeing. The combination of hearing and seeing. I'll do seeing first. And see if I can see that same guy dealing with the line, and see if I can see what's on his clipboard.
Go ahead and make an investigation check. You can very clearly see him writing with ink on his little clipboard of papers, but it's difficult even from this location to see the specifics. What I will say is he's clearly taking down names and occupations, as well as continuing to write a small paragraph underneath that. But you're not seeing specific words.
And then maybe I'll spend a minute or so doing that, and then I'll just spend the rest of the 9 minutes listening. Hopefully maybe the line finishes and he starts talking to the guards or something, but I'd like from here to start listening.
All right, you're cleared. Go on in then. And he lets the first person in line pass him. And you hear from behind the gate the bar slide up and the wooden doors give way to let him in and are immediately closed again. Definitely seems to be 2 knights behind those 2 gate doors. Next! And you just see him over the course of these 9 minutes make his way through just 2 more individuals, slowly gathering their information. They sometimes have to justify themselves even if they have adequate paperwork. He is asking for proof of allowable entry.
This is also the eastern entrance. Is there any weirdness about this? Would be where people from Force Hollow would approach? Does it feel like they're questioning these people more? Is there questions about that?
Not specifically, other than asking Where are you traveling from? What is the purpose of your visit? Why were you if you're a citizen, why were you outside the city walls? Do you live here? What district do you live? Simple questions like that. So it's not like the city's only so big, so it's not like this gate being closer to Forest Hollow is any meaningful difference than the northern gate. However, just simple data gathering and general gruffness. I will say also, in you and Roulette's approach and the scrying being available, you are also seeing in each turret along the walls where the line segments change direction. You're seeing large trebuchets attached to the top of those, essentially catapults.
Cool.
Wooden construction.
I'll finish that. Back to the group. I got some stuff, but it's about what I
Roulette.
expected.
Roulette, Telpion moved while you were gone. I saw him.
He would.
He moved while you were gone.
Figured he would, but I do appreciate you and Rome standing still. I don't, Jerry. I'm hesitant to try and get into the city before we enact this, plan for the Thane. It looks like they're keeping watch on the walls. There's plenty more of those wyverns. They're checking names and occupations on at least according to Toby, names and occupations of people as they're walking in. So tomorrow night I can keep us safe and hidden well out of view. Tonight we might just need to rough it.
Oh, I got a good idea. Why don't we disguise ourselves as guards and meet some travelers on the road, ask to see their paperwork, and then you can forge us some paperwork.
Plan to do it today or tomorrow or
Wait.
I don't know. We can do that while Toby's spying. I don't know.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
Then what do we do with those people?
Then we let them go. We're guards. We're checking your paperwork.
We could
Give
be
us
those
your
people.
paperwork.
We could be two gods and people. The rest of us could be the people, not like citizens.
Oh, being checked.
Yeah.
We're escorting citizens
Like you-
back to the city.
Here's my thought, though. We are not mundane, right? Why don't we just not pretend to be mundane? What if we were like a traveling troupe requested for the gala?
Oh, like the blue feathers.
Sure,
I've got their stuff in my bag.
sure. But like, we could then have, because if they ask us like, "Oh, what crops are you bringing in?" Like, we don't have crops. We don't have any knowledge of the city, so let's not pretend we have knowledge of the city. We could forge a single document saying like the royal whatever. I'm sure we have enough magic to pretend we can be performers. If they, like we could fake performing.
I think that would be a good idea as long as we stay within the politics of the people who are here. We can't be telling any jokes that offend anyone.
We'd have to be little cowards about it too. Like, oh, we're here. We love Durast.
Exactly, yes.
Mm,
Pro Durastian jokes.
I can't even imagine.
Obi, Roulette, what do you think?
So, do we want us five roll up as a troop, or do we want there to be a Durastian guard escorting 4 or 2 guards escorting 3 people?
I think the more we pretend to be Durastians, the more
It's
they
gonna
can
fall
figure out we're
apart
not Durastan.
quicker.
I also can just transform into another animal to remove myself from the equation. So that I just don't think a plant person is discreet.
Mm, I don't know what we would say.
I mean, we could have 2 horses instead of 1.
But
Oh,
we have a leafy horse.
It's exotic. I don't know.
no, wait. Can't you turn into an actual horse?
Yeah, I can turn into a horse.
Yeah.
But he means like that one that doesn't look like a roam horse, like an actual, like ugly regular horse.
I think you can do that, right? You've been animals.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
In the heat of battle, she looks like roam animals.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can enhance us beforehand to make us more charismatic. Outside of Jiri, he doesn't need the help.
Just mention having round ears a lot. Boy, isn't it nice having round ears?
I mean, we've got Rome as a horse. Telperion, sorry, you're going in the locket.
What if I was like a bodyguard?
Locket.
I could play the drums. I literally can play an instrument. I could just be the like backups. I play the lute.
I can't play an instrument, so he's got me beat there.
Yeah, but Toby, you don't have pointed ears.
I have not pointed ears now, and I cast disguise self, and I make myself look like a human Telperion.
I hate
No,
this.
no antlers, rounded ears. The hair is a little dirtier looking, and I give myself a roulette nose and Toby eyebrows. I went as human as I could think to, and I made myself shorter than Jiri. A little bit.
Well, I guess we have to get going then, because
I got another spell slot.
Roll up as a troop. Get in. I think it's bold to say we were requested for the gala specifically.
That we're here.
Is there like just generally vague festivities around the?
we weren't. Let's say we weren't requested. We're here to offer our entertainment services for the gala. If we say we were requested,
They can check.
there's
and
probably
find
a
out.
list of things that they know were requested for the gala. So we say we're here to offer our entertainment for the gala, and we will kindly make our way to the main building that's marked number 6, and we will kindly leave if not needed.
Thane Gaspard sent us.
No, okay.
Or rather, even we're here for support, but also or rather, to perform and support the Durastian cause. You know, we showed up here because we're in support of their movement
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get in on the winning
and their
side.
campaign. Yeah, exactly.
Help raise morale in the siege of insert other city that's further west of here.
But what if we've performed for Thane Gaspard before, and he sent us a letter to perform? He wanted us to try to go. Like they won't think anything of him, right?
They think he's dead.
Yeah.
We got contracted a month ago for this. We've been holding this in reserve. We've known this was coming. We've performed for him. He liked us. He's trying to make a good impression. Don't think we're just little dirty. It'll be fine. You're just, just enough to get in, and you aren't acting like you know someone high enough that we would register you. We don't care. Just go in the city then.
But then the Thane's going to show up later then too?
Yes, because he wrote us a letter and asked us to come here a couple weeks ago.
And we've been taking our sweet time, whereas he's been sprinting to get to the city after Queen.
I mean, they're in a war-torn country that they're invading. They probably aren't that organized about oh, you would have gotten this notice, blah blah blah.
They've got lists, it looks like.
I think they're just.
Okay, if we're going into the city, Jiri, mock us up. Let's just fucking get going.
Okay, let's see what I got. And he'll dive into his disguise kit, find some blue feather stuff, and put it on everybody.
Yeah.
Here's a sweatshirt for Toby. And a bandana for Roulette. Elpiron, you get a dirty sock. That's all I had.
Want to be a newly formed auxiliary crew of the Blue Feathers? Like we've got our own name.
We are the Blue Feathers 2.0.
I will say when I disguise self, I wouldn't have done my armor the same, but I wouldn't have thought of blue feathers. I would have just done a vaguely bardic costume. Telperion 2 times has seen a bard in a bar, and he's like, oh, that. So it's just he's got the floofy shoulders,
Sure.
the most stereotypical bard outfit.
Fair enough.
Jiri, which lie do you want to pick? Because you're the one telling it, obviously.
We're here with Blue Feathers 2.0. Here to entertain the Durastians. Go Durastians. Number one, gonna win
For the gala on the New Year's.
for the gala. Not charging
question.
anything for free. Here, maybe to get
I'm joking.
what's the word I'm looking for? A patron potentially.
Very well. Jiri, as you're handing out disguise kit stuff, are you aiding that, supplementing that with any magical means, or are you intending to utilize disguise kit in order to disguise your allies?
I intend to use disguise kit and illusion magic
Okay.
to alter everyone's appearance to be
Got it.
significantly different,
Okay.
as to
Very
not be recognizable.
Deal.
Rome, are
you guys are looking like a
or are
troop?
you
I
another
will.
member?
I will transform into a horse with my wild shape.
Okay. With
I let the
true
horse-
fur.
Oh, we should put all of
Yes,
our
true fur.
supplies on Rome.
And then I'll let out the other horse out of the locket, and I'll hop on it, and I'll hold my lyre, and I'll play my lyre.
I'll try and calm the horse down that just spent time in an extra dimensional space.
Go ahead and
Oh,
make an animal
he's
handling
fine.
check.
I'm decent. Hey!
You do manage to calm it down right as Telperion jumps on it, and it thinks about bucking him off, but you do calm it down very quickly, and it is satisfied.
I'm curious if this will work. I also cast the illusion magic on Shaggy to make him look like a horse.
How big? Oh god.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna work because I don't think you can change like the limb arrangement and stuff like that.
All right, then I will roll Shaggy up and be like, "You gotta be good, Shaggy. Be
I'll
good.
carry Shaggy.
Be good boy." And Shaggy went first.
Okay.
I think we should keep Loaf as our mascot, and I plop Loaf on the horse butt behind me.
I assume Jiri hops on Rome horse,
Yes.
and I will pretend to be the keeper of the horse and leading it. And when I feel
You
like we're
guys-
like
yeah.
15 minutes out, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability at 4th level to get Telperion, Roulette, and myself advantage on charisma checks.
This feels good.
Oh, then I will. I have enhance ability. I will cast my other 3rd level spell. Actually, no. I'll just cast it at 2nd level on Jiri to give him advantage on charisma.
I just didn't feel like he needed it.
Well,
A natural one's a natural one.
covering bases here, so everyone except the horses has advantage on charisma.
Jiri, what's the name of our group?
Blue Feathers 2.
I pat the horse's butt and cast. Oh, it's only gonna last. No, it lasts for an hour. I cast Prestidigitation, and I make BF in like a beautiful blue scroll with a feather underneath it appear as a colored mark on its hide.
What else can I do
You forgot the 2.
without concentration?
And then my with my pinky, I trace it too, and the blue lines follow.
For shits and giggles, I will cast. Oh, I don't remember if this will work. Rome had a ring. I don't know if her new form has a ring. If I can cast Warding Bond on her.
Not while. Ooh.
No, you can't because she's
different.
No,
than-
you
Wow.
you can if you're still wearing it in your form, but I don't think a horse can wear a finger size.
if
On my
And the
hook?
mane.
It's like tied around to my mane.
Okay, you could do that. You could do that. That's fair game.
If I spy the ring woven into her mane, I will cast Warding Bond on her.
Okay, and that is not concentration.
Correct.
final thing as we get into line. I will I will hide behind both horses and the rug and the elf human, and I will ritually cast detect magic to have it trying to lead up to like within 30 feet of the gate, and that's it. And we are approaching the gate as the blue feathers 2.0.
You are casting detect magic.
I ritually cast detect magic.
Is that concentration or no?
It is, yes.
Okay, so
No, we use enhanceability.
No, enhanceability is not concentration.
It is indeed.
I thought it was.
Sorry, it is. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing
Okay.
detect magic.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Enhanced abilities are up. Disguises are on. Thinking about making our approach.
I'm ready.
Okay.
We're making it, baby.
Jiri, I would like to ask you as we begin the approach to please describe what everyone looks like very briefly.
Oh boy.
I would say I'm also most curious in what Rome looks like.
Rome. Oh, Rome looks like a horse.
That's right. I was totally not thinking of her as a horse right now. Yeah.
He's interested in horses.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna make Toby much taller, very skinny, with red hair, like blazing red hair. Everybody's gonna look kind of like distinct. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody like normal looking in a band of troopers. Everybody's kind of like unique in appearance. They've got some distinguishing feature, but nothing so much as they'd be too memorable, I guess. Maybe Roulette has heterochromia, 2 different eyes,
Love it.
and a mohawk.
Beautiful.
You're just
And really long arms.
Okay.
Like rectangular, like huge
Blinky
wingspan. Yeah. Jury will be dashingly handsome, of course. Tall, very muscular.
Jacked.
Yeah. All humanoid.
Do you have any
Did I
like
miss anybody?
steam leaking from him?
No. I'm
That's
steaming.
everyone.
Okay. As you begin to approach, many of the people in various carts and wagons toward the sides and spread out around this gate entrance sort of give you eyes as you approach, and some with curious raised eyebrows, just as you guys are a unique looking approaching troop. But many of them just go back to what they were doing. I'll actually ask anyone that wants to can make an insight check.
rolled +0, but a good roll.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jiri's probably going over lines in his head to make sure he gets it right. Rome is a horse, and even though you still have your own sensibility, even though you have your own sensibilities, you're trying to get in character. Then Roulette, unfortunately, just not high enough. But Toby and Telperion, you get a sense of, although there was a moment of interest in your troop, they did look away quickly. And therefore don't seem to really care about your presence. Also, from this just minor bits of conversation you're passing, you get the sense that some of these people were turned away and they're not sure exactly what they're going to do with their day, intending on getting into the city but not allowed to. 2 people are ahead of you in line, but you're able to sort of come up that path, and then after 10 minutes or so of the gate guard asking people through, you approach.
I have detect thoughts ready to fire it.
Oh, great. I can already tell this is going to be a fun conversation. Names, reason for entering the city?
Yes. We are the Blue Feathers, too. All of us, my companions and myself, all of us here, we offer songs and stories, feats of precision and
Not
skill,
interested.
grand performances,
Next.
and beguiling illusions. Next. But you haven't even heard what we can do for you.
I'm not interested in what you can do. Do you have an invitation or reason for entering the city or not?
Of course. We're here for the festival. We're the Blue Feathers, too. Have you not heard of us?
Back in the homeland, I know there's a troop somewhat called whatever, but didn't know there was any group of you down here.
Yes, we've been traveling across these newly conquered Duracian lands, all the way down here to Olandris, just in time for the festival.
Listen, were you invited by someone in the city or not?
By someone in the city.
You hear in your head, you could use Thane Gaspar's name if you need to.
The Thane, of course, has invited us, but I do not believe he's in the city yet. He's expecting us, though.
I'm gonna do detect thoughts now.
Okay. You're welcome to do that, and you hear audibly at surface thought the same thing that comes out of his mouth, which is, Thane Jessa, what do you mean she's not in the city? Although I will have this individual make a wisdom save if you're trying to probe deeper. Are you?
No, right now I'm just surface.
Okay. He is confused because Thane Jessa is a separate Thane who is already within the city limits. So he's showing surprise with his, what are you talking about, the Thane?
Thane Gaspard.
He crooks his eyes at you and says, Thane Gaspard is not here. Has no position within our city.
I know, but he is traveling this way, and he's going to expect us here.
We should reset the Zoom.
Oh, yes, we should reset the Zoom real quick. When you mention Thane Gaspard's name, he gives you a stern look and says, I'm gonna have to run this up the flagpole a bit. Gate. And he just backs up a little bit and knocks on the wooden plank door. Go grab Captain Landry. Supposedly we've got orders from Thane Gaspard, some troop he sent here. What do you mean? He's dead. This is something he must have done weeks ago. Send them away. Just check with Captain Landry, see if he knows anything we don't. Very well. And you hear one of the guards inside the gate walk off further into the city.
While we're waiting, these forms that you have here, in order to get into the city, they must surely be for purchase somewhere. How do... Say this does not go our way and the Thane really is dead, which I doubt. There has to be some other way for us to get into the city. We must be there for the festival.
That is another thing you've mentioned that have no knowledge of. There's no festival here. This shit city's no suitable place for a festival. It's barely enough for any extravagant event at all. It's a shame the Talon's even coming here for this damn dinner. That's all the hullabaloo this week.
Do we know the name of the festival?
I was gonna.
I think it was
Telperian a thought to send Jiri a thought if that's permittable.
You don't need to because I'm reading his mind. What is he thinking of? Like, does he have a title for it in his head?
It's a gala, not a festival, is the whole thing, I think.
He is absolutely confused. He has no knowledge of any festival. you're hearing in your mind, Telpian, the fuck are they talking about? What did Thane Gaspard promise to this poor troop?
Jiri, play up to his he's gonna be more sympathetic to us since he thinks Thane Gaspard's dead and we came all this way, but say we're here to entertain the talent. That's what a goal is, our heart's desire.
Well, traveled all this way. I can't believe it. And the Thane potentially dead, though I do not believe it. There's got to be a way for us to get into this city. We must perform for the Talon. Do you know the Talon, by any chance?
Not
Could you get an
personally.
audience with the Talon, by any chance?
Shit chance of it. Few are going to be able to be graced with his presence when he arrives. I'm not surprised you want to meet him. Many of our soldiers and forces are eager for his arrival and are cracking down on the populace as necessary in the next few days. Make sure things are in tip-top shape before his arrival. We all want to impress him, though most of us know we will not interact with him.
Entertainment is important for impressing. Livens the spirits, don't you think? Especially of the Durastians. You soldiers do like a good show, don't you?
It's a bit boring here.
My friend, we bring the festivities with us, you see.
Tell you what, if my peer over there comes back and Landry isn't having it, or doesn't know anything, I might be willing to allow you through for some coin and maybe slipping my name in if you do end up in the Talon's graces.
Well, we're gonna have to know your name if that is possible.
I shoot a mental thought to Telperion. Did you catch his name?
I don't think he's thought his name, but he might say it.
I don't know. He just said his name. Maybe, I don't know.
He proudly thinks in bold letters his name in his head.
I will say, you're reading surface thoughts. It's almost impossible for a human mind not to just think of a response to a simple question like this. So although he says to Jiri in disguise, when he gets back, maybe I'll answer that question. But Telperion, you get the name Bartray.
Bartray.
Do you send it to Jerry?
No, I'm not giving you that info yet.
I bet you I could guess it if you gave me long enough.
Too bad you don't have it long enough. Move aside. I'll come collect you if he comes back. Next. And you see the person that showed up in line behind you is eager to move to the forward of the line. And if you guys are willing and choosing to move to the side, you'll have a couple minute wait. But eventually that night will return.
Do we want to say anything before the return?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Jiri, nice job.
We haven't been killed yet, so I think we're doing okay.
You're good under pressure. Good job. Talk you up.
Well, that's good. Now, we just need to be sure, because we want to lie low once we're in the city, that we don't want them watching wherever we go, necessarily. Because I feel like if they let us in, they'll be like, alright, keep an eye on these weirdos.
And we're just going to disappear. Become peasants, you know?
Yeah.
Change our disguise.
This also could get us further into the keep than we initially thought. Like, I don't, like, this is going...
Wouldn't that be so much fun to be the Blue Feathers again, guys?
How long
Jerry?
can you maintain us looking like this? Or do we need to go find a tailor and get new clothes to disguise ourselves appropriately?
Oh my god, that's such a good question.
You've got me all tall and skinny. I don't know if I can...
Oh, I can keep this up all day. Don't worry.
Ooh, wonderful.
Him sees the words 24 hours on the spell's duration.
Or 8 hours.
Well, that's fair. That's a day. I think it works to our advantage that the thing might be dead because now we just use a name that's somewhat known. But fuck it, we don't have to be loyal or whatever. You did a good pivot, Jerry.
We were using it as an avenue to reach the higher ups, and so even though he's dead, we can still maybe worm our way and be like, "Look at us." But then we don't end up with really a seat at the table.
Doesn't matter. We just gotta get in the city. That's all.
Yeah, but it would be cool if we got to play at the gala. We're gonna have to learn instruments really quick.
Well, you could be the Thane and you could walk in with us. It's the perfect excuse, actually, to walk us in.
Wait a minute. Do we even know? We gotta come up with fake names. This guy's gonna ask our names.
I'm Joby.
Joby. I know my name. Don't worry, I know my name.
Okay.
Roulette Realm, do you have anything you want to do or say before this guy approaches us?
Well, I'm in horse form. But I think to you, Telperion, my name is Gordo as a horse.
Gordo.
Gordon?
No, Gordo.
Gordo. I love it. This is Gordo, everyone. And I don't know what the horse is called.
I will be Ralphio.
Ralphio. I'm writing these down now. Ralphio.
Gordo, Ralphio, Joby. Okay.
Wait, what was Joey's?
You are responsible for remembering your own names.
Joby. I just changed it to a J.
Steve, what's your name?
Millicent Nightfall.
Ooh.
Very well.
Gordo.
You hear a rap of knuckles on the inside of the gate. Batre, come here a second. He walks over. You can hear this off in the distance, but you're a little far from their conversation. Some hushed conversation takes place and says, Blue Feathers. Waves you guys over.
Oh, that's us. Let's go.
Come on, Gordo, and I'll lead Gordo with Ralphio.
We are the Blue Feathers. My bow. Blue Feathers too.
The bar inside the gate opens up, and the knight from the inside opens it up and steps out next to Bartre, and they both just stand next to each other, put their hands out.
Ah, yes, payment. Let me see what I have.
I'll reach up to Jiri because I'm broke.
We don't have much. I'll take out like a pouch that has like no money in it. Here. 1 gold coin.
We're poor.
We are very poor.
Please make a persuasion check. It does have advantage per the enhance ability, but not because of the acting portion of this.
I like that Crit wanted to be clear that it wasn't.
Just a matter of you're not trying to. Well, yeah, no, Jiri has enhanced ability to act and get his way, but just like paying off someone isn't benefiting from faking who you are. Sure. This is a very separate type of interaction. You're gonna need at least 10 times that.
I'll put on a surprise face,
as you guys put surprise faces on. He says, each, as in for himself and for the knight at the gate.
Oh my gosh!
20 gold.
Oh boy. Well.
Yeah, 10. I will.
How much is that?
Jance, you, and I'll pat both horses and I'll rest the 6 foot tall fucking rug I've been carrying this entire fucking. You push on in, gentlemen here, and I will take out a very clearly hefty bag of gold coin. This I think should do plenty, and I will hold it open. There's, I'll 30 gold in there. The rest of the troop, you guys just keep walking in. I don't want those horses to get restless in the entryway here. I know they've had quite a long trip. Gentlemen, I think this is for you for the wonderful hospitality you've shown us getting in here. I
That's more like it, and we'll reach out to take it from your hands.
I'm like still holding on to it to like make sure the conversation is happening. I heard your math before, and I ran some numbers. I used to work for my daddy, and I did the books. And I had a little bit more in there for you. That gala in 2 days' time, we're trying to. The Thane invited us. We're trying to get a foot in the door of entertainment business and in the new nation. If we show up at the front door, is there a secret word or something we should say to make sure we get in? I just and I'm doing as much charm as I can.
Sure.
I'm just trying to make sure we get a foot in the door. I'm sure there'll be a big old crook that takes us out once we flub the first act or something, but I just want to give my friends a chance at something, and that I will release the bag at that last word.
Okay. He definitely, you feel pressure. He's trying to wrench it from your grasp. Slightly irked by a moment of awkwardness, both touching the back at the same time. But as he rips it from your hand and looks in and just hands it to the knight next to him. Count it. Little lass knows what she's doing. Listen, darling. I don't know what the Thane promised you all. There's no gala. I don't know what you think you're going to be entertaining. There's only the estate dinner happening in 2 days' time, and it's not as glamorous as I think you might be suspecting. A couple dignitaries and nobles from a couple of various positions. It's not anything as... This city isn't suitable for hosting a true gala or a dance or a festival by any means. Bit smaller scale than what you were perhaps promised. Additionally, if I were you, I wouldn't try and get into the keep until the day of. There's likely no chance you'll be allowed in.
I truly appreciate that. You know, the rich folks always need someone to laugh at, so maybe that's the part we'll be playing come 2 days' time. But I appreciate that, and I will do a long sweeping bow with my super long extra arms, like dusting the ground with my fingertips. You gentlemen have a wonderful evening, and I will.
Roulette, you can go ahead and make a performance check real quick.
Oh.
And if you have enhanced ability on you,
Yes.
you do have advantage.
I do. It's a charisma check.
Advantage, charisma. Ooh, maybe some flashing of your genius.
Flashing of your genius.
-1. Love it.
I'll make it a 19. Sure. I will.
You smell good.
I will make sure that wherever I pull my money from, I have like silvers between my fingers as I'm like doing it, not to drop, but to like make my hands shinier. 19.
Just a small chuckle out of Bartray, and as he allows you to pass, he'll say, "Hey, lass. Word of advice. Rumor has it the Count and Contessa have a dark sense of humor. You might put that to use."
You've spawned 1,000 ideas in this young lass's mind in a pure instant, and I could not be more thankful to you. Have a wonderful evening.
As the gates shut behind your troop, you hear the two of them say, "I would have taken 5."
Yeah, I know.
Mrs. Nightstraw, you were definitely holding out on us. Where'd you get all that 30 gold? That's crazy.
Well,
Oh,
I
I'll
will-
give you 10 gold.
I will hobble up. Can we find a place to stay for the night? I would very much like to not have long arms anymore.
I subtly passed Steve 10 gold at
10?
some later point. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take 10 gold from you.
Jiri, I'll say you actually just by default are able to recall the name of one of the nearest taverns. Is named the Broken Bottle, that you could conceivably seek housing for the night.
All right, guys, you want to go to the Broken Bottle?
I'd love to find.
Do we
I love-
keep up the... Hang on. I want to do a look around, make sure there's not people listening in on us.
Sure. Perception check. Passive perception will give you that immediately as you guys enter the city. Other than people that seem to have been allowed into the city recently and are considering next course of action or thinking about where to go, the streets are fairly barren. Not many people are out and about. It's not a jostling hustle and bustle city. Other than you do see many guards and knights just walking certain streets, some posted up outside of certain residents' doors. But go ahead and make an active perception check as well. As you're about to consider opening your mouth, you do see on top of the wall you just passed through, sheltered by small fortifications that wouldn't let you see them on the way in, are a couple extra guards that just eyeing you as you guys walk through the entrance to this gate. So you'll need to move further into the city to be out of earshot.
Oh, this broken bottle sounds great. Let's head there. And then I'd like to try and send through Telperion, if he's willing, that let's hold off talking shop until we can get a secluded area.
Telperion will mind web that out to everyone. Shut up about proper nouns until we get to privacy.
Perfect. You are able to make your way through the city, down a couple streets at Jiri's direction based on memory, and you are able to come to a very modest wooden frame tavern. Says the Broken Bottle out front. Pretty worn, hanging wooden flapping sign. Are you intending to go in, and what are you doing with your horses?
Is there a stable nearby? I think to Telperion.
I don't really.
Is there a place to tie up horses or stage them outside the tavern? Or
Is there an alley?
There's definitely an alley on one side, and you actually do see a single horse tied up to a post, one of a few posts in a line with each other, just to the left of the establishment.
I walk Ralphio in, and if I'm in the alleyway and there's no one who can see me, I will I almost said Pokeball. I will sleep somber Crystal Ralphio.
Okay, you are able to do that, I would say.
Gordo.
Trying to think if there's anything that would affect that, but no, I think you would be able to do that. So that horse is contained within the locket.
Fabulous.
Not Gordo.
Not Gordo. Gordo can just de-transform.
Yes. What's that horse? Did we give that horse a name?
Ralphio.
No, I'm Ralphio.
Oh, I thought the horse was named Ralph.
Mm-mm.
This. Oh, yeah.
It's Moby 5?
Moby the Fifth. How about Moby the Fifth?
The fifth.
Okay, so I can de-transform at this time then?
Yeah,
No.
You are currently outside in the middle of the open air.
Oh, okay, we're not in it.
No, you have to stay a horse for a while.
Just
Yeah.
walk down the alley where I just.
Or we can try and take you around a corner, transform, walk back the same way or something, but then you'll also be a roam,
Street
which is
person.
Yeah.
definitely a...
I can
Big
remain
time.
as a horse. I can do some horse reconnaissance outside.
What if you make yourself into like a bug? Until we get into the room, and then you could be a human.
Or a rat.
Yeah, just go get small.
A cheese-eating
Alright.
rat.
She's eating rat. No, I will transform into a grasshopper mouse.
Ooh. I wanted to play a centaur
But
before.
they are badasses. Have you ever heard of grasshopper mouse?
They are.
I'm looking it up right now.
They howl at the moon.
And they fuck shit up.
Yeah, they fuck up scorpions.
Dope. I'm gonna watch videos on them later.
Yeah.
Oh, you should.
I put
Good time.
Gordo the mouse, Gordo the smaller on my shoulder.
Gordy.
Oh, I'm just holding Lump like a little arm pillow at this point. He's balancing on my loot, which I have used prestidigitation to turn purple.
Now
Nope.
I have to walk. This is annoying.
Can I make an insight check if Jiri is taking down the walls, and this is his true form. It's like, oh, I have to walk.
Pretty in line with how you first met him.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are welcome to enter the tavern, the Broken Bottle. I'll put on a little bit of background music as you go in there.
Yeah, give sad wartime tavern.
Is this like a tavern inn? Like, are there rooms that we can tell, or?
Yeah, you definitely see a second floor, and the floor plan is the square footage of this rectangular building seems suitable for. There's probably a dozen or more very small rooms upstairs. So hopefully there's room. You enter. There are about 2 human individuals sitting at a table off to the side, a single hooded individual sitting on the other side of the bar, and just a single bartender who's just sort of doing one of these. Oh, good.
How many have walked in? 4, because Rome, you are grasshopper mouse at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so otherwise 4 humans enter a bar. Yep.
Waiting for the punchline.
4 humans walk into a bar. I love that we went from the most exotic party to the most vanilla.
Oh, we look fucking weird.
But still very exotic
Very
looking compared to the rest. And it definitely gets the bartender's attention. Like, he raises from a not interested position and says, "Yes, something I can do for you all?"
Yes. We are the Blue Feathers. We are looking for room and board for the night.
And then I play my lyre when he says that.
And we're here to entertain, too, if you need some entertainers.
I most certainly do not. We have a single room available. It's going to be a tight fit for you all.
Good. We're good in small spaces.
Strange. A single silver piece will do you for the night. If you're staying 2 days, though,
Silver piece.
or more days, it's not exactly a per room basis. Need to keep the rooms open that I can.
You have a place for our horse. Can we bring the horse in the small room with us?
There's a post outside. You're welcome to feed it slop or whatever else you'd like to throughout the night.
He's just kidding. We lost our horse.
Oh, yes.
Actually, this is called
Seems
horse.
like something you might want to go fetch.
I hold up Loaf, and he's like, "Oh, this. We call this horse." It just.
No,
I-
that'd
Oh,
be fine.
there it is.
This is our emotional
We found
animal.
What the hell is that
Animal.
thing?
Isn't it odd? And I just.
I'll run forward and start grabbing a handful of 6 silver pieces. I'm like, is this enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Just clasps your hand and we'll take the 6 silver
Let
coins.
Us at math hold the gold, or the silver, but we keep making this mistake.
Joby, that's 6 nights worth.
Listen, that'll buy you a free round on your way upstairs. It'll be the farthest door on the right when you get up there.
Free round of what?
Ale. All from the Dewdrop Brewery down south.
My favorite. Oh,
Would you like those now, or do you want to get them later?
Yeah, let's
Now.
have. We'll sit with you. We want to hear about the city. We just got here, actually.
And who else is in your tavern?
We go into quiz mode. What's your name, friend?
Jot this down.
I'm Jude. And honestly, friends, there's not a whole lot you're going to benefit from while you're here. City's in a sorry state right now with our very generous benefactors occupying the city at this time. Everyone here right now is either human or a few non-humans that we're forced to pay an increased tithe for just to simply shelter them. Good thing you don't have any exotic kind with you, or
My insight.
Yeah, you can absolutely make an insight check.
I'm curious if he's sympathetic towards these people. But as we talked about, I got a cold +0 to this. Oh, that's a 15.
15's good enough to realize that he seems like a fairly simple citizen of this place, that whether or not the hostile takeover of the city has affected his life, he's able to maintain some semblance of normalcy. So he's not too put out right now. He's getting some business. But his mention of the non-humans he's sheltering, just like, it's more of a complication to his job than anything else. You don't get a distaste for the fact that he's sheltering humans, but the fact that there is an additional tithe required to shelter non-humans, like, definitely got a reaction from him. And he will begin pouring you all ales into a mug.
You think that's how Duras runs their country up in the True Home? If you're non-human, you pay extra. I've never been to Duras.
I think that's what the original Blue Feather crew was saying.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm
Damn cliffs.
surprised. Why would you all come here as a traveling troupe of entertainers? You can't be optimistic about your opportunities to make coin here.
No, but we are also writing a story about our travels. So, Miss Nightfall, can you jot down this whole story that was it Job? What's your name?
Jude
Is saying. And so the Blue Feathers entered into a dingy bar known as the Broken Bottle, and they met the innkeeper Jude, put down Job. A very depressing sort.
Mention the gleam in his eye.
He did have a gleam in his eye, yes. Put that down.
I hold up Loaf, and I pull back his little paw, and I show his little claw, and I say, we have a very poorly thought out desire to impress a talent, and we hear he'll be here.
Listen, also, the gate guards might not have cared, or maybe you had appropriate paperwork for them not to make a fuss, but you might be careful where you show that creature. They've been collecting all exotic goods, valuables, and I don't think creatures would be off their radar.
What about very ornate carpets that are rolled up?
Listen, if you piss off the wrong people here, they will probably want to acquire what you have.
It could be a problem for us.
But hey, if you are invited and have some reason for being here, I assume you must if you got through the gates. Maybe you don't have anything to worry about, but...
I just want to remind Rome that you can message me things if you want me to ask them on your behalf.
We do appreciate your hospitality, Mr. Jude. We'll kindly take that room for the night. We've done plenty of camping, so mostly a roof above our heads, I think, is what we're looking for. Period.
Do you have any cheese? You got a rat friend.
Food or snacks, actually, would be much appreciated.
I guess for the extra silver I took off your hands, I can make available a small cheese plate.
You know, a large cheese plate for the rest of us.
I put out a gold for him.
Listen, most of the good stuff's already been grabbed by the guards, but keep your gold. That's not going to get you anything extra. Here's a small cheese plate, and he will go to the back and grab a small, simple wrapped wax piece of cheese and says, you can cut it up however you wish and distribute it amongst yourselves. I don't have much to offer right now.
I snag it, pull it up to Rome if she's interested.
Oh, I think you have more to offer than you think. Maintain your business in the face of the siege. That's impressive.
I suppose, but other than strong-arming me for some extra coin to put up individuals they're not so keen on, or just maintaining my normal day-to-day life, they just didn't give me that much of a hard time. Others didn't get off so easy. I've also made sure to be obedient.
Who had the hottest time?
Not supposed to talk about it much, but they printed it, so looks around the bar top and will grab a piece of paper and just push it your way. Bit of light reading as you enter the city. And as you open it, it seems to be like a newsletter, a front and back sheet of like something that would come from a simple printed press. And it just reads, "The Dragon of New Durast." Articles are a bit... they're something. But you might find it insightful. Get used to it. This is how they disperse information amongst our populace and the other cities in New Durast as well.
Oh yes, hail New Durast. How often do they stop in here?
Once a day, maybe less if they're in a good mood and not interested in giving me a hard time. Anyway,
Another question: is everybody in town? They've had a similar attitude as you? Are they just dealing with the Durastians as best they can, or has there been some resistance at all?
he will just put his arm across the table and just tap the sheet of parchment he pushed your way.
We'll
You
enjoy
can, you can read what they printed. I'm not here to give any extra insight.
I'll never read things for myself.
And he put particularly as whoever's holding the handbill looks down at what he's tapping on, you see the article specifically says Country Keepers Collective Capture.
God, I hate alliteration.
Yeah, they're a bit simple-minded, not very creative.
Country Keepers, what?
Collective Capture.
God. Alright, we'll go read this in our room and rest and wait for some parcels of cheese.
Very well. Don't make any trouble, or I will not defend you in any way should you rabble rouse and they want to detain you like they do so many others.
What does detained?
Would you ask?
What does it take to get detained, if they're that willing to do it?
Not much for some. More for humans, maybe. Little extra leniency. But listen, I wouldn't push boundaries while you're here.
Jude, do you have a basement here? Part of the performance we do, I do a bit of singing, and I need some practice space, and I don't want to disturb the rest of your patrons up in the other rooms. I'm just wondering, do you have a basement or I mean, like a shed or something, like quiet room or something I can use?
We have a very small cellar where we keep the casks of ale, but it's not very accommodating. It'll be...
I just need a quiet place to practice my singing. It's a bit of unique singing. It sounds awfully weird to the common ear, and I promise I won't be absconding away with your casks of ale. I'll give you a heads up when I need to do a bit of practicing tomorrow, if that's okay.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I hold up the lute and I go, do-do-do.
Do we think it's still within that 1 hour from the gate?
It's probably toward the end of that hour, but sure.
I'll take it. Oh.
Ooh.
Why did it roll 3 things?
I don't know, but it only calculated 2. But gotta love a green number below 20. Sure, there's nothing valuable down there. Just don't break the casks, or I won't be too kindly to that. But otherwise, I don't care.
You might hear some weird singing coming from down there, but I'll give you a heads up.
You'll need to be supervised. Just let me know when you want to go down there, and I can walk you down there. Very well.
I leave the gold on the counter as we walk away.
Charcuterie board!
As you walk away, he will put his hand over the counter and grab it.
Miss Nightfall, please add spineless to the description of this.
Attitude went fairly up.
Oh, there's that BG3.
But yeah, you are able to walk up the very simple wooden stairs, find your room, and it is a low accommodation room.
Is there a window?
There is a window. Yeah.
I go to the window.
Simple wooden frame that lifts and shuts. There is no lock on it. Two very simple straw beds. Enough space to sort of cuddle up with each other for a night, but it is a very small living quarters.
As Telperion falls down and like spreads out on the thing, he ceases being human and just is an elf again. That was horrible.
Is there a location in the city where we are and a direction the window is facing?
That's a great question. Let me get to here. You are in building 11.
Cool.
And we'll say your window, based on the way the road is, your window is literally, we'll say this one. Your window is this top one, which looks
north
this way. Yes,
I
north.
gotcha.
Oh, 1 minute. Here we go.
All right, let's refresh it.
Do it. Let me in.
Totally missed what you said. If you said something of,
I was just talking to Tim.
I agree.
Rowan, were you going to the window?
Yes.
what are you interested in doing?
Visible from the window.
It is about late afternoon right now.
Oh, it's not nighttime.
The moon's out during the day sometimes.
It is not visible from this location.
Okay, I'm still gonna howl out the window as grasshopper mouse.
Ooh, nice.
Me introducing more grasshopper mice to the window.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, let's have you make.
DC 30.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but go ahead and make a survival check with disadvantage.
Oh. And DC
Moon,
30.
Alex. There's no moon. Oh, jeez.
You
Oh,
don't get an immediate response.
Oh, brother, you should have made like a telescope or something like that so we could see.
All right, well, I'm gonna detransform if I can't get any mice to come.
What would you like me to look at, Jerry? Because I can see quite a ways.
No, I think Toby's the one who can spy on other people. But one thing I was gonna say, per the gentleman at the front gate, additional piece of information: the Count and Contessa of this place seem to have a bit of dark humor. I don't know if that'll impact how and when or whatever actions, but I'd say any sort of jokes you want to make on
I mean, these people are not responding.
a thing
to
who's
any of
presumed
our
dead,
charm.
you feel free to do that.
These people are not responding to our charm.
Yeah, I was going goofy route. I guess they don't like goofy.
No,
Most people like goofy.
no, I think the folks here, specifically the Count and Contessa, might go for shock value over genuine charm.
Maybe we should like do a murder mystery then.
Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Important to note, we don't have to be in line with our past selves. We can easily change course now. Some little Botcharin god doesn't need. No one's gonna know if we're like macabre and creepy. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Jiri, I know you're awfully good at impersonating people, but if you at some point, whether before, during, or after our entrance into the estate dinner, if you wanted to impersonate I don't know, a zombie form of Thane Gaspard, I'm sure the Count and Contessa might find that bleakly and darkly humorous.
Something.
Oh yeah.
Something just
It
occurred.
have to be.
I don't. That might not be our way in. I'm just saying, keep that in your back pocket.
It would have to be clear that it's somebody acting as him, I guess.
Well, we have the perfect. He hired us, died, and now we go make fun of him.
And we have his dead body. Maybe we could incorporate that.
Like animate it?
Okay, I just have to say
Like a
this.
puppet.
Like a puppet?
Mentioning the Count and the Countessa, us, a group. If we are in the same room as the Count, the Countessa, and the Talon, we die. I think.
No.
Okay, I'm just saying, I don't want to fight all three at once. I don't want to fight all three at once.
I think that would be the best thing for us to do.
No, I think if we kill all three, that would be phenomenal. I don't think
Yes,
we fight
yes.
all three at one time on their turf, in the middle of their controlled city. We have won many times in the past. I don't think we've ever quite been in as much a dangerous situation as we are at this exact moment.
Here's something. Before we focus on our way in, what's our way out? Do we levitate into the sky and try and sail away? They have wyverns. They are fierce. They are not to be taken lightly.
MK, move your microphone a little closer.
That's why I said we should have killed that one Rayburn.
Jiri, I think they've got like 30 more of those things anyway. I do agree that some sort of aerial support is might be necessary. And I do think, to Toby Rama's point, our former way of escaping places, going up and then gliding out, might not be the best way to get out of here.
I have a question. What is our specific goal here? Are we trying to kill the Count and Contessa? Are we trying to get information and not be detected? How do we win?
Both.
Do we want to
No.
check in with the United Kin Army? Do we want to check in with
No.
anyone there? Okay.
I think they gave us permission to come here and fuck shit up.
That's why I think we should start killing stuff secretly. Maybe we should just start assassinating people.
I think if we can decapitate the structure here, try and sneak the hell out before it all goes to hell. I think I would call that a huge success.
Stage a murder. You know what I mean? We can pretend to be somebody else, kill somebody.
It just feels like it's been like 3 weeks or something, and I don't remember. Were we trying to do that, or were we here explicitly for information? I don't
Information first, decapitation of capital heads second.
Because I do think if we did what we did in Force Hollow, if we killed the two Count and Contessa, let's pretend the Talon comes and goes and doesn't know. The United Kin Army actually might not be keen because they aren't here to press that advantage. If we did that, they're going to want to capitalize, not just open. Olandris isn't Force Hollow. We can't just take this back by killing some hives,
Sure.
figureheads, and then win. We'd have to have them pressing in which case the war effort would need to be focused. If we get into that combat situation.
What sort of a time frame do we think it would take for reinforcements or a new set of leaders to be instated?
Are you talking about from the UKA?
No.
Like if we get rid of the Count
Just
and Contessa, is it a week before someone comes to fill the gap and restore
I mean,
balance?
I don't think that matters at this point. They've got 30 wyverns flying above the city. Like, it's going to be well protected regardless. I think information, Jiri, I do agree we have to at least bash one head in here. But I think information is paramount of what we want to get from them to figure out what the fuck Duras is doing and what their next steps are.
I agree. I think we're thinking just about this city. We gotta think about all the other cities. Maybe we'll learn something
We also
super
don't
important.
have to strike on the night of the dinner. If we spy well, listen to what's going on at the dinner, maybe the Talon leaves the next morning, and we're not looking so grim if we want to take some people out.
And
But is
Right.
go ahead, Alex.
I was just saying that I can collect information in my animal form.
At the very least, yeah, we can have a rat show up.
I can do that.
I can recruit
Did I-
additional rats.
A cheese-eating rat.
Rat bastard.
I think about this though. Think about the amount of effort it took for us to get here.
Not much.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. 30 gold.
30 gold disguises a lot of time. What if the
What else
biggest
do we have to
target?
do?
I'm just saying, I actually am reversing my previous thought. I don't know that the Count and Countessa are actually that important compared to the Talon. What if we have the chance to kill the Talon?
Try and isolate the Talon.
That's what I'm saying. That would be
Your
truly.
father and his Celethar almost mortally wounded a Talon. Like I don't think that's beyond possibility. I mean, I don't think that's the worst idea. Like I think.
What-
Elpion, you need a pep talk right now, man. You're a badass. You can take down that Talon by yourself.
I'm just saying, what if our primary objective was to kill the Talon? I think we should just identify our objective before we spend 2 days spying.
I think we spy first, find out what the Talon's up to, and then ambush.
Which.
Jiri, one thing, the Talon's not getting here till tomorrow at least.
So this is where
Got plenty of
I can
time to spy, man.
This is where
Yeah.
I can do 2 instances of trying to spy on him. See what his location is. Maybe that should wait until nightfall. if he
Jiri, you
settles
wanna-
down, but
Jiri, you want to go for a walk real quick? Because I think you and I are still looking like humans from the Blue Feathers. We could just go walk a couple of blocks and at least check out that main square real quick, just to refresh your memory on the city of Olandris, so we know at least what the estate looks like.
Then we can bring back intel.
At
And then-
least just a little bit of intel, yeah.
Yeah, boots on the ground intel, and then Toby, you can do spying intel, and then Rome, you can do rat intel.
And I'm going to read this newspaper.
that's
Yes.
very important intel as well.
Please
You
do.
can read and then read it to us because I don't like reading things.
Do you know how to read?
Yes, of course.
I love her ask. Well, what does this say? And I show him the really bad.
Let's go, Jiri.
As
Oh, time to
Roulette
go.
ushers you, I will cast a 3rd level. I plan to do dexterity, but I'll also ask Roulette. She knows this magic. Do you guys want an advantage on anything as you guys go scout for a little while?
I think we're just walking through the city right now.
I always have advantage on everything.
I'm going to give you dexterity in case you guys try to hide. I'll cast a 3rd level enhance ability on Roulette and Jiri.
Beautiful.
3rd level enhance ability, Roulette and Jiri. What?
Dexterity. Cat's
Dexterity,
Grace. Is that
okay.
what it is?
I think so. Yes. Got it.
And you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
I will go climb a building.
Oh, let's jump off something.
20 feet.
Toby's like, only 20 feet, but I'll build it.
We can definitely tackle for sort of the rest of today what you guys are interested in doing throughout the city as the 29th of Evening Star concludes. Telperian's going to read the paper and determine insight from that. Roulette and Jiri are going to go peruse and do something. I think we'll tackle that one last. Toby and Rome, what are you interested in doing?
Well, I'd say about 80% of my spells prepared are concentration, so I'm locked into what I've helped them out with.
for the next hour. If you want
For
to
the next
later in the
hour.
night do something, then we might
keep
tackle
that in
that one
mind.
last.
Because I plan to scribe probably tonight.
That's what I sort of figured. So we can certainly tackle that if that's sort of the way you want to mainly contribute to the
That's what I'm
intel
thinking.
gathering. Okay. Rome, how about you? Are you interested in I don't know if you have additional wild shapes available or if there's other means you have of like surveying the area. Is there anything particularly you want to do?
Well, I guess I did have like a technical question. If I'm in my wild shape, I can still use speak with animals, correct?
I think if you cast it beforehand, you can maintain concentration on stuff, or you can maintain active effects.
So it's
that
not a
you've done.
concentration spell. It's actually a ritual spell.
How long does it last?
10 minutes.
Okay, so it would just need to be, you cast it. You can't cast spells while you're in wild shape, but you can cast it, then wild shape, and go try and find information in 10 minutes. But then the spell would end.
But if I were like in mouse form and we're trying to speak to a mouse, I could theoretically speak to them because I am a mouse. Right?
Yeah, I think that sounds intuitive and reasonable. I don't know if the rules lay out a structure for that at all, but I do think that is reasonable. Yes.
I love that mice are the theme of Rome's session.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go with mice because I feel like rats are evil. So I'm going to transform back into a grasshopper mouse and I'm going to climb into like the walls where I'm sure there are mice living.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck them up.
No, I'm not going to fuck them up. I want to speak to them.
Okay.
The humblest of critters.
I will
Yeah.
say you're very quickly able to identify not the same species as you, but other various voles and critters that are within, that have little colonies within this establishment. Absolutely.
This is exactly what we were talking about, Chris, at the beginning. Like in Boulder's Gate, when there's like secret nooks. and
Yeah,
crannies.
yeah, the burrow holes. Yeah, for sure. So yes, you find a small colony of mice who do have a very low intelligence, but could offer some communication and intel. What are you interested in asking them?
I'm wondering like what sorts of things they've observed in this town. How has this area of your land changed?
That's a good question.
I'm
They
assuming
will-
there's like kind of a pecking order of mice. I don't know if maybe like, oh, new mice shows up, like they all kind of crowd around. Like what mouse society is in the walls?
They will relay the idea through mouse speak that there is a unique crowding happening within the establishments of this city, as many of their mice kin are hiding from the flying beasts overhead. You don't necessarily know if wyverns actually feast on mice, but the mice are scared by flying creatures in the sky and have all been packing it into homes and residences and etc. So the main change for their city living is they've been forced to hide more often.
But
You have a coordinated network of communication among all mice kin and
mice. Rome desperately trying to get mice spies.
Through the sound of, you hear, what is network?
Mycelium.
But
Yeah.
you do get the sense that they're very scatterbrained and have no real communication skills outside of their own clusters of
The humblest of
family.
creatures.
Do you know of any other abundant animals in town that may have higher intelligence than you all?
Y'all are dumb.
Give me
No.
the good shit.
They will relay that in this very tavern, there is a ferret that lives downstairs in the cellar.
What's more
that
evil than a ferret?
that they don't go downstairs. They're scared of the cellar.
Because they're scared of the ferret, or because they're scared of something
Indeed.
else?
They're
Oh my god, go
scared of the
fight that ferret as the mouse.
If they're scared of the ferret.
But I'm a grasshopper mouse.
Yeah, I
think
know.
could
Go
take
kill
on
the ferret. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
gonna go down. All right, I'm gonna go back through the wall,
Okay.
and I'm gonna, thanks to Telperion, explain to him that, listen, there's some crazy ferret that's the mice are scared of down in the basement. We need to go and approach this ferret.
Peacefully.
I need backup. Yes,
Mhm.
peacefully.
This wise goddess that I respect is asking me to go talk with a ferret or something. That's my thought process.
This ancient being of Earth says,
Yeah.
I got it all figured out. There's a ferret.
Literally, yes.
Listen, no stone unturned, okay?
No stone
Oh,
unturned.
Toby, I need Toby. Toby will come.
No, I'll help you. I'm here. I'm the only thing you've got because Toby's casting his.
I'm watching and I'm just seeing a chirping, and then Telperion just focusedly staring back at the mouse.
And Telperion is actually really excited to be involved in a Rome like thing, and he knows people always go to Toby because Toby says yes to things, and Telperion says no to things. So he's going to say yes to this, but he wants to read his newspaper first.
Okay. But I will say, yeah, we can pick up that conversation in a bit with Rome's interest in the ferret, but the newspaper will move to next. There are 4 on this simple handbill. That's a front and back sheet of parchment. There are 4 main articles, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. The first one is a small discourse and description of the weekly tithe required of all citizens of Olandris to be paid to Durast, including some fairly clearly to anyone that has any reading comprehension, pretty clearly staged testimonials from various individuals talking about what a boon and generous tithe this is by their gracious occupiers, that they're only asking for this much. It just reeks of sort of propaganda and probably paid testimony or intimidation. The one below that is the one that mentions the Country Keepers collective capture. It's an article discussing how the rebellious movement of the members known as the Country Keepers has been effectively quashed, and their primary leaders have all been detained, and any left with loyalty to that group have scattered and disseminated. Then on the back of the sheet, there is one discussing the Talon's arrival in 2 days' time for the estate dinner at the Crown of Evening Star, and that curfew will be strictly enforced earlier than usual, and any individuals caught outside their homes after a half hour before sundown will be subject to detainment and potentially harsh punishment in the days through the Talon's visit.
This is how long that is.
The Talon is supposed to arrive on the Crown of Evening Star, aka in 2 days' time, the day of the estate dinner.
And he'll leave. Does it say?
Just days through, so
Okay, got it.
a day
Sure,
or 2
3
or
weeks.
more.
The final article is perhaps the more large and sort of more well-worded portion, and it is a word from the dragon of New Durast, King Zavar. And you get the sense that this publication handbill is named after the nickname they give to their king. And it's an excerpt from some sort of interview discussing with the King Zavar various topics, and speaking in his decree to the citizens of New Durast, emphasizing the ban of any speech related to the inclusion of this country's prior name, and an invitation to welcome this new world order in order to win favor from him and his forces, promising fortunes and favor above that which their previous leadership might have given. And it ends with a statement sort of toting the prideful power of the human race overcoming those who were given power at birth rather than earning it through discipline and cunning.
I didn't want to kill King Zavar before reading this, which I did. I even more want to kill him now. And I folded the newspaper. All right, Rome, let's go catch us a ferret.
Before we go, I make a little. I pull a splinter off of some wood that's starting to kind of splinter up, and take a piece of string from Telperion's kind of fraying linens and tie it around my waist so that I have a little sword. A sword
Oh
splinter.
my gosh.
Why do I have fraying linens?
Well, I
You're
kind of chewed at them.
traveling.
I was chewing at them while you were reading.
Okay.
Perfect.
My
As you
gleaming
guys-
armor has some fraying linens at the bottom.
As you guys are heading downstairs to attempt to get into the cellar, I want to zoom over to Roulette and Jiri. As you guys are interested in leaving the broken bottle to survey the surrounding environment and town, what are you guys doing? Where you think you're going? Interested in making your way toward?
We're walking around. Jury will say to Roulette,
What do you think Roman and Telpier are doing right now? Probably something really awesome and fun. We better do something cool too.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine it's something highly intellectual.
I'm watching this rat, like this little mouse, take a string and try to make like a little rapier.
You're
That's what I'm going for.
Probably something that I would want to be a part of.
who's the mouse from Prince Caspian?
Oh yes. What's his name? Oh, God.
It starts with an R. I don't remember.
Reaper
Yeah,
Chief.
Roulette and Jiri. Oh, Reba Cheat. Yeah, but Jiri and Roulette, what are you up to?
Where do you want to go?
My plan was mostly to just like walk through the town past the estate just to make sure I know what it looks like from the front. It's really just like getting a view of it.
You guys are definitely welcome to just walk in general. Roulette, I'll have you make an investigation check along your way. Anything specifically on your mind, Jiri, as you guys make your way through the city?
I'm just gonna try to like see what my memory remembers of my time here.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make
Specifically,
I'll say you can make a history check with advantage.
Advantage. Ooh.
Since you have been here before. That's pretty good.
Oh.
Okay. Jiri will do yours first because it will sort of guide the tour loosely.
The tour.
You definitely recall that the northern portion of town and the very east where you guys came through is generally regarded as the poorer, lower to middle class area where just people have simple sort of trade, barter, commerce-based jobs, whereas the western and then obviously the very southern portion of town are a little bit more well off, but there's no like hyper rich nobility in this town other than a couple noblemen throughout, outside of whoever resides at the keep. You also do, as you are meandering through town, you actually do catch the site of Moby's house off in the distance, and I'll just mark that on the map as Moby's house is specifically this one off in the distance. And it seems to be in reasonable shape, no damage. However, in both of your paths, you also notice that various houses are burned. Some have the front doors bashed in and broken and were never repaired, and seemingly some of those residences were left disheveled. So clearly the Durastine forces have not been kind to some people in this city throughout.
How tall is his house?
How tall is his house? Single story, very small. Probably, based on what you
20
recall,
feet?
a simple 20 feet tall. No, probably like 12 feet tall. Very easily scalable.
God damn
But
it.
based on what you remember, simple, very two bedroom house with a simple common room. You also identify, I'll say, as you guys meander through the city, you identify the specific locations of all 12 perch towers that have the spotlights on them, as well as where the wyverns seem to occasionally roost on. You see that there's ladders there so that soldiers can climb up there. And then Roulette specifically, as you make your way through the town, I will mention that you get a clear bead on this is the barracks where many Durastian soldiers are occupying. There seems to be a munitions building of all sorts of resources, rations, additional supplies, almost being like used as a resource warehouse. There is a large brewery that was mentioned earlier as the Dewdrop Brewery. I will also say, other than the fact that you identify the keep's location and visuals, you also get a beat on the general routes the guards take, not down to specific hours and stuff, specific shifts, but you get the streets that they patrol more often, less often, general meandering of the wyverns path through the city, etc. I'll also mention that you do see uniquely a large sluice gate just south of the brewery. I'll point it right here. That sort of slows this branch of the river's passing right before the brewery, and then there's a large crank wheel that must generate some function for the brewery's use. Yeah, I'll say that for now. Also, for the specific keep, simple but nicely hewn stone building, 2 stories, with a very beautiful balcony off the front of the second story.
That's the estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll also mention that, and I'll mark it here just for fun.
Yeah.
Around this center square, where you might expect a lot of commerce, there's actually chains and posts put up to force any commerce to be kept in certain locations, making sure that most of that area is walkable and clear. So it's not like a bustling town center. There are a couple stands of carts and sellers peddling wares, but very few. Mostly it's a walkable cobblestone street throughout there.
Do we run across anybody during this time?
You see various individuals out and about, but throughout your, let's say, roughly 1 hour walk through portions of the city, you probably come across 5 or less human individuals walking out and about. You don't see a single non-human so far.
Place fucking sucks.
Yeah, does everybody, like, what's the mood of everybody?
Those who are, go ahead and make an insight check.
Well, Jerry,
If
you
you're-
got a piece.
and let me know if you're interested in interacting with any. Yeah, not quite sure
People
what
suck.
what their general demeanor is relaying, whether they're hurried or not hurried, or keeping to their business or on a stroll. You're not quite sure.
Yeah, this is like the hardest environment to act in. Nobody
Yeah.
appreciates the art here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how we're going to get into this estate dinner, but yeah, it'll be weird for certain.
There's definitely a desolate vibe that comes from the city, even though you know it is densely packed with residents.
Still think a murder mystery might be good. Anyways, we should go visit Moby. OG Moby. Kid Moby.
Let's maybe wait until after the new year for that. I don't know.
Nope. Let's go pull a prank on him right now.
Nope.
I'm gonna climb up on his house.
Feeling awfully agile, I know.
If you guys are interested, you are welcome to head over in that direction.
You knock, and then I'll pretend to fall off his house. And then we'll tell him we're gonna sue him. But then we'll tell him it's a prank.
What if he's not there?
Oh, it's been a while. I bet you he's all grown up now. Probably got a whole family himself, wife, bunch of kids.
Like 3 or 4 months.
Okay, if you want to climb up on the house, I can go knock on the door to see if he's there. I guess I did meet Moby a couple months back, didn't I?
Yeah. He's like my
This-
first friend ever.
Okay. Sure. I don't look like Rome or like Roulette right now, so. Okay. Jiri, you're gonna get up on the roof?
Yep. Jerry will try to climb up on his roof.
Okay, you are welcome to do so. It's fairly easy to scale. It takes you half speed, but there's no check involved for something so low and easily scalable.
I will knock on the door.
Okay. You are welcome to knock on the door, and after a few moments, you see a curtain sort of move aside, and you see a woman's face and a puzzled look, and then you see the curtain recover the window, and you hear a lock undo itself, a latch, and then someone just barely through the crack in the sliver of the door frame opening, a woman says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, hello there. The name's Millicent Nightfall. I'm from the Office of Durastian Resolutions. With the new year coming up in just a few days, I wanted to talk about kind of your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams for the future with the new year. What are some of the things that you've got kind of top of mind? I know family is a big thing for all of us nowadays, and I'd like to get some information, mostly just kind of a census taking thing to figure out, family planning or kind of what's going on in your life.
Oh man.
I don't believe for a second you're with Durast.
Oh,
Sorry, we're not interested at this time. And begins to close the door.
As it starts to go bad, Jerry will roll off the roof and try to land right in front of the door.
you have 20 feet of doing that.
I know.
I can't wait for it to be 21 feet.
Yeah,
If
go
it's
ahead
still
and make
within
No,
an
that.
hour.
he said 12.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's also a very short house
Yeah.
roof. Go ahead and make a performance check in your arrival here.
Can I try and catch Jiri as he's falling off the
man,
roof?
I love that. Oh man, I love it.
You are welcome to try and catch him. Yes.
Double fives.
Like knowing that the jig is up, I want to try and lean into the blue feathers.
The jig
aspect
is
of
up.
this.
Yeah, you're welcome to make either an athletics or acrobatics or performance check, Roulette.
Acrobatics has advantage.
We'll do acrobatics at advantage.
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Jiri, you land on your feet, and ta-da! And as you throw up your arms, and ta-da! You literally just knock Roulette backward, very clumsily and not gracefully.
It was just a prank.
Oh goodness! And she still has the door mostly closed. It says, "Who the hell are you? Why were you on my roof?"
Foot in the crack.
Make a sleight of hand check.
A sleight of foot check.
Advantage.
Yes. Yeah.
Toby gets a ping in his head. I know this spell was worth it.
They're probably sneaking around, is what I'm
With an
thinking.
18, you see her trying to pull the door closed, and you do get your foot wedged in there. And she says, "Please, I don't want any trouble. We've listened to everything Duras has told us to do. We've been obedient. Please, you're gonna get us in trouble."
Alright, you heard it. The jig is up. Where's Moby? I'm his good bud.
No, he hasn't done anything wrong. Why do you need him?
I'm his buddy.
I'm his buddy.
How do you know my son?
Oh, he was my ward for a little while.
I hate this.
First commitment to the bit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just tell him Jajiri's here.
Or
Moby, dear,
Oh,
do you know a Jajiri? Is that the man who? Well, yeah, it is. And you see a pudgy little kid run out toward the door.
Jesus
Who I
fuck.
always picture as the kid from Up, runs up to behind his mom
Russell.
and says, "Wait, you're not Jiri."
Yeah, dude, it's a disguise. Come on, let us in. Anybody can see us.
Oh yeah, you could discuss. Mom, let him in. Let him in.
how old is this child?
Like 14 years old, but he seems younger.
Bobby, you haven't aged a day.
It's got a learning disability, is what you just said.
I'm writing it, but he seems
Seems very anywhere in the middle school range, we'll say. He looks.
obsessed.
There's
Mom, you
1
gotta let him
minute
in.
on the Zoom.
Well, and also we're kind of at our time. We'll
quickly-
reset this and discuss what we want to do.
This, though.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
finish this. This is fine.
Oh, we can pick up here. Oh, okay. I quickly, ma'am, I'm sorry. We're friends of Moby from Back and Forth Hollow.
I'm gonna restart the Zoom.
Just let us back in real quick.
I'll restart the Zoom.
Restart the Zoom real quick.
Yeah, well,
Gotta go along with some shenanigans.
Yeah, I want to go sing in the basement.
I'm so curious to find out if Jiri abducted this child or if the mom was on board.
Oh,
I'm so interested. Also, I knew from the start, just people knocking on this woman's doors to be like, "We didn't do anything." Like in a fucking
Yeah.
military, like
She thinks we're the
hell.
Gestapo.
Oh my god!
Thought we were the Gestapo.
Thought we were the Gestapo.
Moby's
Rightfully
mom
so.
allows you two to enter the house and then quickly shuts the door and does the latch and immediately turns around and smacks Jiri across the face and says, "My son was your ward for weeks and he came home with not a coin for his services. And you are I should have never let him run off with his fanciful notion that he could be a knight's ward."
It was a workplace opportunity. He has moved up.
Unpaid internship.
It was an unpaid internship. He has moved up.
You are lucky I am letting you in my household right now,
And the
especially when
Dodgery
times are as
franchise.
hard as this.
He has now become a valued member. I am willing to offer him a job with a cash benefit.
My God.
it was a workplace opportunity.
Mom, he was always really kind to me, showed me lots of cool things and places. I met cool people. There's other value than money. And then he says, "What's the job? What's the job?"
Roulette, do you think we can trust this kid to be a spy for us?
"Oh, I can be a spy." "Mom, it'll just be
He's
like
perfect.
Henry."
Oh.
"No, you've spent far too much time with that child."
Jiri, why don't you catch up with Moby for a second and give him some details on the potential spy job. Ma'am, if you come over here for a quick second, I'll try and like pull Mom aside. And my name is Roulette, and I will take out. Jesus, second time today. 7 gold. 7 gold. I was like, I don't know how much Jiri promised your son as ward, but at least for some recompense or future payment, the boy was incredibly helpful and I'll say inspirational for a couple of our other compatriots in our party. And I do want to give you this as a token of good faith, at least.
Well, I think that would begin to cover the first week or so of his time.
Okay.
A kind gesture, at least. What what the hells do you think you're doing in my house, and why do you show up now out of all times?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Why did Jerry pick this kid?
And you seek to use my son's services for what?
Jerry, that is a great question.
Jiri is like high-fiving with Moby. They've got their own like secret handshake that they do, and they're getting along. They're catching up.
Man,
Jiri
what
also
was...
seems a little bit younger than he really is.
What? Oh my god. Man, what was your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm Joan.
Joan. Joan, wonderful to meet you. Your son is a wonderful, wonderful boy. We are we're here doing a bit of reconnaissance. I'm sure you might know there's some awfully important people headed into town 2 days from now, and we're trying to just get some information on who they are and what they're doing.
Go ahead and make a general charisma check.
This citizen mom is now gonna help us spy on a Talon.
Exactly.
You have advantage?
Are you going to make that a
That's
6?
She begins to push you out and toward the door and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even let you in here. We are not trying to make any trouble for Durast. They have been gracious in their willingness to leave us alone. They have not given us any trouble. We are nothing like our neighbors. Please, get out of here.
Jerry, let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna stay here, Roulette.
Moby looks at you, Jiri, and says, the window.
Got it. All right, we'll be leaving.
Oh my god.
I'm so
It was
fucked.
really great to see you, Jiri. It's sad I won't see you for a really long time.
Also, my name wasn't Jiri, in case anybody was asking. It's Ralphio. I lied about being Jiri.
Joan, I
Get it?
apologize for busting in on your
Get it,
namesake.
Mom? Get it, Mom? He's not Jiri.
Yeah, if anybody ever asks, you'll be like, Jiri who? Who's that? Never heard of him.
Please, now get out of my house.
I will be like ushering Jerry out, like closing it. Joan, I apologize I apologize, and I will close the door and head out.
Moby! You hear as you guys leave.
All right, Roulette, we gotta go open up the window.
Well, why don't we come back and do it when his mother is not so keen on keeping him in the house? But I think he said the window.
Yeah, man, we're gonna need somebody else to help us out with spying.
We can certainly try and quickly recruit Moby, if that seems like the right idea.
Quickly recruit.
Yeah, I think that went better than I expected it to go. That was great. Let's head back.
How are you expecting it to go?
Way worse.
Well, as you guys begin to recuperate from that, and consider coming back later to maybe tap on his window and talk further with this child, you guys head back, I imagine, toward the tavern, and we can probably pick up the rest of the shenanigans from there next time we hop back on.
My god. Shenanigans.
Yo, what's this ferret's name?
What's this ferret's name?
They would have.
I like hope that
told
he's
you-
like really, really old, like incredibly old.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, like maybe he's been around for a while, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not trying to.
I just literally yesterday read the plot for Watership Down on my phone because I saw it from for me, and I'm just thinking about like these rabbits like going after each other and like dogs killing them, and then you're asking about this like old ferret. It's great. And you've got a really
Rome.
serious name.
The mice and voles that you interacted with would have given you. We just call him the Predator.